All right, to save a little time, as I was talking about in the last segment for this one, this is a fast-paced bluegrass version by Billy Strings, and he's picking this really super fast, right? I showed you what he's playing, or close to what he's playing in the last segment, but to get it up to his speed, you'd have to practice this probably for a couple of hours. And I don't have a couple of hours just to sit around and practice picking a fast-picking bluegrass song, because I got other songs to record and so on. So I'm not going to be playing this as fast as Billy, but it's super fast if you go listen to his version. So I'm going to slow this down to save some time so I can get through the demo on this. It's called The Preacher and the Bear. The preacher went out a-hunting, it was on one Sunday morning, and although it was against his religion, he took his gun along. He shot himself some mighty fine quail and one old scraggly hare. On his way to returning home, he met a great big grizzly bear. Well, the bear dashed out to the middle of the road, went up to the preacher, you see. The preacher got so excited that he climbed up a big old tree. The bear stayed down upon the ground, the preacher climbed out on a limb. He cast his eyes to the Lord in the sky, and these words said to him, "Hey Lord, you delivered Daniel from the bottom of the lion's den. You also delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, and the good books do declare. Now Lord, if you can't help me, just don't help that bear." Well, the preacher stayed up on that tree, and I think he was up all night. Said, "Oh Lord, if you don't help me, you're gonna see one hell of a fight." About that time, a limb let go, and the preacher come tumbling down. He should have pulled his razor out before he hit the ground. Well, he hit the ground looking right to left and put up a pretty good fight, while the bear hugged the preacher and he squeezed him a little too tight. The preacher dropped his razor, but the bear held him with a grin. He cast his eyes to the Lord in the sky, and these words said to him, "Hey Lord, you delivered Daniel from the bottom of the lion's den. You also delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, and the good books do declare. Now Lord, if you can't help me, just don't help that bear. Now Lord, if you can't help me, please just don't help that bear." All right, so there you go, one called The Preacher and the Bear. We looked at all the picking in that in the last segment, but it's much faster, right? Billy's playing that like... Right, he's really going like the town on it. But you got to start with a slower pace with a fast picking song like that, and then once you get the riffs under your belt, then away you go. Great tune there called The Preacher and the Bear. Thanks for joining me, folks. We'll see you next time.